Hello, I'm Jason from Denial Media. This is my very first tutorial, so hopefully it will go well. This is a tutorial. I've already done this. Image or this manipulation, so I'm just going to show you how I did it. But of course, this is probably going to be it's going to look a lot different than the one I originally did, because I kind of, when I do manipulations, I have a basic idea what I want to do, but they always end up it's kind of like sketching or anything else, you know. It just how I feel, the mood, what colors I think work well, that all kind of comes into play as I go. So I'm sure this will look different, but the same methods I used will be here. I already have all these images. I'll go ahead and make this PSD available to download, and I will also say I'm going to forget some of the models and whatnot for some of the stock art and everything. But I'll make sure I put it on the screen when I talk about them, so that way you can go, so get credit where credit's due, I guess. Like I said, I've already done this, so I've already collected all my images. Normally, as I do one of these, I'll do a part, I'll think about it, decide what I want, and then I'll go look for another stock image that'll kind of fit to work where I want. So, first thing is, it all started, I came across this model, and I just really love this picture. I cannot think of her name. I've already kept this out. I've already got it matted. I would assume by now you know how to cut out a person and mat somebody out. There's hundreds of tutorials on YouTube, and just Google how to do it. I don't want to go through something that I'm sure you already know. But I found this model, and I really want to do something with this picture, so that's how it all started. So first thing, as I went, I decided I wanted to put it on a ledge overlooking a city. And I found this ledge, and it has this woman. It had this woman. I couldn't find the original I had, so this is where I've already kind of got rid of some of it. But I found this woman sitting on a ledge on Google Images. I decided I really liked the ledge, but I did not like the city or the sky or anything at all. So first thing I did was I just went ahead and, in case you're wondering how I zoom, I alt and use my mouse wheel, up, down, zooms in and out. H, hand, so you can move around. The first thing I did is I decided I liked the ledge, so I went in and I just cut out everything I just matted everything out but the ledge. I'm just using the polygonal lasso tool to do this, because it's all straight edge. And I actually end up using the polygonal lasso tool a lot more in this one than I normally do, but it's because I dealt with a lot more straight edges this manipulation compared to a lot of the others I've done. So yeah, you just use the right tool for the job, I guess. So yeah, the first thing I did is I just matted this out the way I wanted it. So I just made my selection around the ledge. And then down here in your bottom right, you have add layer mask. It's the little icon. Obviously you can see me pointing to it. It's the icon with the box with the circle. And there you go. You have your ledge all ready matted out. So, and I already have these layers laid out in the order I use them in too. So I just wanted to be organized. Like I said, this is my first tutorial. Hopefully, like later, I'll start doing tutorials as I do manipulations, and you can kind of see my whole thought process and kind of what I do to get my stock art and everything, and how my brain works when I'm doing this stuff. And also, if you have anything particular you want to know, leave it in the comments or hit me up on Twitter or anything, and I'll be sure to try to show you how to do those, or do my best anyways. So I decided I didn't like the city on the original image, but I liked this ledge. So I went and found this cityscape that I really liked, and I think it worked really well with this image. And I do things a little different. Like I will compose everything, I guess, put it all together first, and then I'll go in and color correct each thing separately, and then I'll go in and overall color correct everything. So that's just how I do everything. But yeah, I found this cool stock of a city, and I'm not sure where the heck it is. I'm assuming New York or something, but I honestly don't know. So if you know, yeah, tell me in the comments. I'd like to be able to tell people where the heck it is, but I don't know where it is. I'm from Iowa, so. So yeah, I like this image, but I didn't like the sky. It looks so, I don't know, it's just bland, boring, doesn't really pop, doesn't really do anything for me. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing I did with the ledge, except I'm going to cut out, or I'm going to mat out all the sky and everything. And again, I used the polygonal lasso tool because these are all straight edges, so it just seemed like it worked a lot better. I did try using some of the, like the quick select tool. It just did not work. The colors are too close. Yeah, so it just didn't work for me. So once again, I'm using Alt and scroll wheel to zoom in and out, and then I'm using the H, give you my hand tool. So this is, I'm sure you've seen this stuff a million times before. Just matting stuff out. I'm going to do this pretty quick, but best advice when you're doing something like this is just take your time, get it the best you can. We'll go clean it up a little bit. I'll show you how to do that too, but yeah, this is some of the, I mean, I love Photoshop, I love doing graphic design, but some of the stuff I've done, I have selected so many images over the years. This has become like the boring. I'm sure if you've watched any tutorials, you've probably seen this 100 times as it is. I might go ahead and speed this up when I'm editing the video. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't gotten that far yet. Like I said, this is my first tutorial, so we'll see how it all goes. And I'm trying my best to talk the entire time, but I am not used to talking while I'm doing this stuff. Most people aren't. I'm usually either have a movie playing in the background or got some music on. I thought it would be fun one of these times to do a tutorial on building a playlist to design to. Because besides doing graphic design, I also DJ. I've been doing that for a long time, so I know a little bit about music and what kind of music gets your blood flowing. I should have the webcam going right now because you can see me all up on the screen looking all close. And I know I said I'm trying to do this fast, but you can only go so fast and do a somewhat decent job. So like I said, I'm going to go in and show you how to use some refined edges to clean this up a little bit so you don't have to be perfect. But then again, you don't want to be too sloppy either. The better you do this to begin with, the easier everything's going to be in the long run. So it's better to take 5 minutes to do it right than spending 2 hours trying to clean it up later. Like I say, measure twice, cut once. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that little tip top there because it's going to fade in and it's going to disappear anyway, so might as well just get rid of it, save myself the hassle of trying to cut it out. Getting there, almost done. Hopefully this audio works. I'm using an external recorder. And I'm trying to keep it somewhat away from me. So that way, I don't know, it's something that's always annoyed me about videos, is hearing every click and every time they hit the keys on the keyboard or anything like that. I don't know. So I have my selection. I'm going to hit Control-Shift-I, and that'll invert my selection. So I select the city. I'll go ahead and hide this ledge layer. So once you have your selection inverted, you'll see up here there's a Refine Edge tool. I'm going to click that, and here you have your views. I usually do it on black or white. You can also do like an overlay with red. You can do your marching ants. But yeah, I usually do on black or white, depending on what I'm doing. This actually looks pretty decent. So we're going to have it turn up my radius a little bit. I'll turn my contrast up. And I'll turn my radius down on my edge detection a little bit. Contrast a little bit more. You just gotta play around with this so you kind of get what you think is decent. Like I said, I did a really quick job. It looks pretty crappy, and if I was doing something, a finished thing, I would totally not be happy with that. But I'm not going to sit here and mess around forever. And I clicked decontaminate colors. It's usually used if you got something on a green screen or something like that, but it also, what I like about it is it'll save this with a layer mask. So when I click OK, oh no, oops, I messed up. Go to Refine Edge and have to do it all over again. Sorry, that stuff happens. Alright, anyways, I was saying, make sure you have your layer that you're wanting matted. But when you click dang it, I cannot say that word. Decontaminate colors, it'll output to a new layer with layer mask, which it just saves you a step in the long run. So there you go, you have your city cut out. Like I said, it doesn't look the best. Just take more time when you're cutting yours out. You'll be a lot happier with it. Like I said, I've already went and got all my art, so here's my cloud background. It's already ready to go. Just kind of move it where you want. I'm kind of wanting a storm look, so there we go, like that. Alright, and turn on your ledge layer. Alright, I picked up this moon, which obviously is way too big. I will resize it. Yeah, click your arrow key to resize. Make sure you're on your new layer. Make sure you hold down your shift key when you're resizing, and that will keep everything equal, or keep it the same width and length as or keep it Oh, dang, yeah. It'll keep it from getting distorted. So you got to kind of decide, I want the moon, I want that over here, kind of above these buildings. Yeah, I like that. Apply. And you change your layer style for the moon layer to, do I want to screen? Yeah, do screen. It'll look better when I go in and start color correcting and everything. Right now, that's fine. Like I said, I like to get everything laid out, posed, if you will, first, and then I'll go in and color correct and make everything look all snazzy and look like it goes together and pretty and everything. I also have this lightning that I grabbed. I just thought I would add a little bit of dynamics to it. We're going to do the same thing as we did with the moon. We're going to move it to where we want, resize it to where we want. Yeah, like that. And set it to screen. For some reason, I don't know why, but my Photoshop, it leaves remnants when I resize stuff. See all those bounding boxes? They're not actually there. When I resize, it all goes away. I don't know. Probably a memory issue or something. I'll have to look into it, figure it out. I guess it doesn't really bother me, but now that I'm screen capturing, it does kind of bother me. So, okay. See, we're getting there. We're getting to. I know, like I said, it looks kind of crappy because none of the colors are corrected or anything, but like I said, I'm just trying to get everything the way I want. And then I will go in and we'll color correct everything, get everything look pretty. Okay, now this is the model I found that I really, really liked. Whoa. Make sure you, I don't know why I'm grabbing all the wrong layers today. Like I said, hold down your shift key when you're resizing. And to resize, it's your arrow tool. And if for some reason your box isn't coming up, make sure up here you got show transform controls. Make sure that's clicked on. Let's see. Yeah, looks pretty good. Okay. I like where she's sitting. Now the dress here, it's a little jacked up. So we're going to fix that. You can grab your polygonal lasso tool. How do I want to do this? Let's see. I'm going to resize her a little bit more. Okay, put a little more on the edge. Okay. I think what I want to do, I'm trying to remember how I did this. I think we'll grab our eraser tool, we'll make sure we have our opacity down and our flow down, and have like a soft brush. If you want to change your brush size, I don't know why it's doing that, but use your left and right brackets. Right bracket makes it bigger, left bracket makes it smaller. Actually, no, we're gonna use our brush tool. I forgot I have mats. So brush tool, grab a nice soft brush. Turn your opacity down, turn your flow down. And hit D for default. That'll default your colors, and X will switch them back and forth. So you want your white. Oops. Make sure you're on your. Oops. And you want black. So I'm just going to kind of. Brush that out. And then I'm going to select the rest of her train, I guess, on her dress. Control C, copy it. And then I'm going to hit Alt Backspace, which will fill that in on the matte layer. Make a new layer, which is a little down here. There's a little bent up piece of paper. That's a new layer. Then Control V. Okay, make sure you're not on the matte layer when you copy it. But do make sure you're on your matte layer when you fill it. Okay, now. Oops. Oh, dang. All right, now Control V. I don't know what is going on here. I have to select all this out. I'm just using my quick selection tool real quick to some reason. Because it was matted to grab the whole thing, but yeah, let's cut that out. Actually, I'm going to do this a little bit different. Sorry, like I said, I just kind of experiment when I do this stuff. I have a basic idea of what I want to do, but it's not always as easy as... And you'll see a lot of these guys that do tutorials, they probably ran through it 3 to 4 times. And they have it completely down exactly how they did it. Because I guarantee you, I don't care how good you are, you're still gonna have issues now and then. You're not gonna remember how to do something, or it's gonna take a little bit of experimenting to get it just right, or so on and so forth. So, okay. And what I'm doing is I'm gonna stagger these. Because if you look, there's like a little stairs here. And I'll zoom in for you. So I'm going to, I'm trying to make it look as if it's going down those. So select that out, the stairs, hit Control X, Control V, paste it again. And we'll go down the next stair. And then we're going to do it all over again, but with the last stair here. Control X, Control V. Okay, I'm going to select all these layers, right click, merge layers, and that puts them all in one layer so I can kind of play with them and get them all working nice together. I'm going to grab my clone stamp tool, right click on this, right click, the same thing over here, right click, I'm sure you're hearing a ton of clicking and I'm not talking. Like I said, I hated. Sorry about that. Okay. It looks kind of crappy right this second, but we'll fix that up. We're going to select each little section of the stairs. I'll hold down your shift key when you do. So hold down shift, shift, and new layer. Go to your fill, your gradient fill. If you hold down your mouse, it'll show up paint bucket gradient fill. And we're just gonna go. I'm gonna do white. We'll do a little bit. There we go. Alright. Trying to get to darken a little bit. Yes. Turn the opacity down. Filter. Blur. Gaussian blur. Then grab a smudge tool. Do darken. Yeah. There we go. It's like subtract works pretty good. And that kind of gives us our look. Kind of, makes it, gives it a nice shadow and makes it look like it's flowing down. Alright. Whoa. Okay, last thing is have this picture of some roses. If I remember right, yeah, click your roses layer, hit Control G. I'll put it in a group. The reason I'm doing that is I'm going to have to copy this a few times to make it look the way I want it. So change the layer style to not multiply. Screen. No. Maybe it doesn't multiply. Make sure you're on your rose layer, hit Control J a few times. You take that whole group layer and you click, and we're going to resize it. Getting emails. Alright, this is not working as well as I'd like, so let's go normal. Open up the group. It's nice, at least you guys see that people mess up. Yeah, we're just gonna see. I know an easy way to do this. So click your roses layer, go to select, color range, click the white, and mess with your fuzziness till you have just the roses are all black. There we go. Hit Control Shift I. Refine edge. We'll shift the edge down. Okay. Select. Color range. Select that. Okay. D. Oops, just dropped my keyboard. Click on the apply layer mask. Let's do screen now. I don't know why I'm having so much problems with these roses, but anyways, I'll shrink those down. Grab my brush tool. Still have my soft brush. Let's just do an eraser. Normally I don't work destructively, but I'm tired of messing with these roses. So. There we go. Well, that's pretty decent, if I do say so myself. Get rid of that. Rename that to roses. This shadows. this to cloth. Okay, now it's time to start color correcting everything. What I like to do when I'm doing color correcting or something like this is I like to start with the clouds and the moon. That way I can kind of decide what color the light will be that'll be changing everything else. So I'll click on the clouds layer, and there's a little like half circle looking thing down here. You click on that. We're going to go hue saturation. And now what we're going to do is we're going to hold down the Alt key, and right in between the clouds layer and the hue saturation layer, it'll pop up a little box with an arrow pointing down. When that pops up, click. What that does is that makes sure the hue saturation is only going to affect the layer right below it. So now we're going to mess with the clouds a little bit. We'll take the saturation down, make them a little bit darker, more. There we go. And I don't know, kind of want to do a more of a gold brownish color. So this is just a little bit of tweaking, messing around, kind of figuring out what you like. Like that. Yeah, I like that color. Okay, now the moon, we're going to do the same thing. Hue saturation, click. I like the orange. Let's darken it up a little bit. So I'll use that orange a little bit to, yeah, there we go. I'll use that. Orange to light the whole image. I'll show you how I do that here in a little bit. Okay, now time for the cityscape. We're doing the same thing. Hue saturation. Click, saturate it down, and darken it up. I'll turn the saturation up so I can kind of get the color I want, and I'll turn it down. There you go, nice orange color. Take the saturation down. Okay. The ledge definitely needs it. That blue, it just stands out like a sore thumb. So hue saturation. Looks like it matches pretty good. You might darken it up a little bit too. Now for the model, same thing. Hue saturation. Kind of gold. Darken her up. Actually, I'm going to move this one. No. Here's actually what I want to do. I'm going to delete the hue saturation. I'm going to take the model and all the shadows and cloth and hit Control G, and then do a hue saturation on that whole group. That way it's getting the back of the dress, and you couldn't see, but I was actually pointing at the screen. You just couldn't see me doing it. Oops. Okay. The lighting, I almost want to do something really... The roses, yeah, we'll go ahead and tweak those a little bit, though I do want them to kind of stand out. So, we're just... Yeah, I like that. That looks good. I want those to really stand out. Now, the lightning, I was thinking about doing something just kind of crazy with. So, hue saturation. Oh, I did color balance. Oops. Hue saturation. Okay. Like that. Is that pretty cool? Yeah, I like that. It matches the moon a little bit. Okay. And now that I have this whole thing done, color corrected the way I like, I'm going to do I'm going to do a gradient over the top of the whole thing. Whoa. And I'm going to use colors off the moon and some colors off the lightning here. There we go. So I'm going to opacity up a little bit. Okay. And now you can go through your when you do that gradient over the top of the whole thing, you can kind of give it all the color you kind of want, an overall color and feel to it. So I want it all to be kind of golden. See how you kind of give that, like, kind of gives it the feel that the moon and the lightning are kind of lighting the whole city. See, without it's the sky kind of stands out, but when you do that, it kind of brings it all together and makes it all one color. So, but yeah, I would say I would call that a finish for now. Oh no, actually, there is something else I wanted to do. Do a new layer and get your paintbrush out and get. I got some fog brushes, and I'll make sure I put those links in the about, and I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. I believe I got these from Brush Easy. But go ahead and get like a white, and just kind of give a little bit of fog, a little bit of feeling to the whole picture. This high up, you are going to have a little bit of. I'll turn the opacity down a little bit on the fog. And actually, getting to turn the opacity down, that just becomes a good habit. When you think you have something, just turn the opacity down a little bit. All right. I think I like it. I would call that done. Let me know what you think about my first tutorial in the comments. I know I didn't explain a lot, and I missed a lot. It's kind of hard for me to get into the mindset that I need to be telling you exactly what I'm doing, what hotkeys I'm using, why I'm doing everything. I'll work on it. I'll try to get better. And hopefully you learned something, and at the very least you enjoyed watching me create this manipulation. Alright, thanks. See you next time. Bye.